Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Around the Table GTA. This episode is going to be about hesitation and just going for it. Um, it's just with progress, what stops progress, and moving forward. Recently, I've been talking about how I've completed my main goal for the year, and now it's pretty crazy because this goal I've had has been like years down the road, and I finally accomplished it. And unfortunately, it's making me feel like I have a void in my life because I focus so hard on this obstacle, um, trying again and failing and trying again, failing, and finally overcoming the obstacle. So it's kind of like, what do I do next with my life? And sometimes we have to realize that sometimes we're putting ourselves in situations where we hesitate, not necessarily because we can't do what we need to do. Sometimes it is a challenge. Sometimes you know that you get to it. Sometimes you just focus way too hard and it makes you anxious. That's something that happens to me sometimes where when I make something a really big deal, it just kind of stumps me and my brain just goes, I get a huge brain fart and I can't focus. I can't do it or I can't remember what I need to get done. And then I just kind of get confused. I think it's also a little bit genetic. But either way, we need to find things to do when we accomplish our goals, right? Some people, they live a certain life because without that trauma, that drama, that obstacle, they have nothing really to talk about, right? And it's it's kind of become a part of their life, right? Sometimes people are in like weird relationships and they won't let go because they're kind of scared of the unknown as well as they're kind of comfortable. So I guess this episode's also going to be about comfort, right? Hesitation, comfort, and how we overcome this to an extent. Like overcoming comfort kind of sounds weird. Everybody wants to be comfortable. Everyone wants to get to a point where they are comfortable. But what people don't realize is what do you do afterwards, right? If you talk to a lot of people and you say, oh, what would you do if you won $1 million or you won the lottery or if you had X amount of money where you don't have to like work or anything? They'll tell you all the things that they would buy, but realistically, not many people have thought, okay, if I win $50 million, this is going to be my life for the next 6, 7, 10 years. People tend not to live or even think about living that far into the future, right? Man, it's something that can kind of make us stumble on the road. It's easy to plan, but it's harder to execute that plan. And you have to push yourself from your comfort zone to get to that point. Hesitation brings an unnecessary stress in our life because we don't necessarily need to think about what if. What we should be thinking about, in my opinion, is when and how are we going to make it work, right? If your goal is to run a 5K race, right? When are you going to get there? How are you going to get there? You use the theories. I think it's like four W's and the H, who, what, where, why, how, right? You break down whatever your obstacle is. And I think it's good to think of like maybe 2, 3 steps ahead, right? Because the initial joy of overcoming something is great, but that momentum, how long will that momentum stay? Especially if it's something that's kind of became your character, right? And that's something that I think about often, whether it comes to work, whether it comes to my living situation, whether it comes to my relationship status, whether it comes to the things that I share publicly with other people. How does this affect me? And what other people's views on me, how much does that affect me to the point where I'm hesitating to either improve or walk away from certain scenarios because I'm known to do A, B, or C, or I'm known as this. Sometimes we have to escape the views of others, and even sometimes how we view ourselves to fully attain where we could be and where we should be in life. Some people get sad and they think that they suck and nobody loves them. All of that nonsense. And it's not till they hear it from the right person where they get back to the mindset of like, no, people do love me. I have friends or I have family who cares about me, or there's that one person. There's always someone that cares about you. If you go back to my older episodes, I talk about secret admirers in the sense where you have your supporters, and then I call them like secret cheerleaders, where there's people who are always cheering for you. There's people who want you to be the best. Not everybody's going to be vocal about that support because they don't know how you're going to react to it, right? Everyone reacts to things a lot differently. When we hesitate, all it does is stunts our growth to what we can become or what we can accomplish, right? We see a lot of people talk for free online. There's so much information online. It's ridiculous, but a majority of people search for entertainment, especially like if you make a new video site or if you go to any new video sharing site. The first thing is going to be, for the most part, funny animal videos or babies or kids doing silly things. People want to be entertained. People want to distract themselves from the hardships of life because life is hard. And whether or not you believe we're in the easiest times or not, there's a lot of different mental challenges that we all go through. It's something that I discuss with my parents or even like sometimes older people that I do have the opportunity to talk with. And a lot of people don't think that it's an opportunity to talk to old people or people who are of a certain age, but their perspective can be very insightful, despite how social media shows how older people are or younger people are. But sometimes a simple question can open your mind to so many different possibilities. Like right now, this whole episode was inspired just through getting ready to go to sleep, and then I just sat in the dark for like a minute, and I'm like, I have all this energy. Why don't I talk about something that's I think is like somewhat deep, but it's something that maybe other people have on their mind, especially with the weather getting colder, the seasons changing, and the end of the year coming through, right? We have to remember not to put too much pressure on our own selves or even pressure on the people that are around us. So, sometimes you got to step back, think, am I being too hard on myself? Am I being too hard on the people around me? Am I trying to be the best version of myself? And how can I do that? Am I wasting my time? Am I wasting other people's time? And where can I go where I'll feel happier, right? I think the next episode I'm gonna do is about lifestyle, and it's something that some people need to think about because if you do go on social media, there's so many views on rich and poor and abundance and all of that, but all of it comes down to the lifestyle that someone wants to live. But we're going to save that for the next episode. Um, yeah, what have you been hesitating on? Do you have any goals for the end of the year? Is there something that you're going for but you're unsure about doing? And what are you doing to overcome that fear? Comfort and fear are two sides of the same coin because some people are so fearful that they won't be comfortable that they do whatever it takes so that they stay comfortable. And some people are so fearful of comfort that they continue to climb whatever type of ladder so that they could feel that they are continuously growing and changing. But every once in a while, no matter where we are, when we are, we need to stop, think, breathe, and see where we want to end up in the future. Whether your present is bleak, whether you are just really stressing out right now, whether you're in the best shape of your life, whether you're the happiest you've ever been in very long. It doesn't matter where you are right now, but we want to make sure that we get to where we want to be. And if we are where we want to be, how do we maintain where we are? And that's digging into lifestyle. So I'm going to stop that thought. Anyways, hopefully you guys do enjoy this episode. Don't hesitate to share this episode. And yeah, don't hesitate to ask any questions as well. I might be adding multiple episodes sooner because I do have a lot that I want to talk about, and I do have a lot of thoughts, and I could potentially just uh, dish out more stuff, or I could have it still once a week. But hopefully, you guys are enjoying the podcast. More episodes are going on Spotify. Don't worry, and I'm still looking for someone for a graphic so that I could go on other platforms. Hopefully, we can get a new guest episode before the end of the year, but that's all up to people's availability. You know, the older you get, the harder it is to find free time. But making that time for yourself is part of your lifestyle, part of your comfort, part of pushing through hesitation. And yeah, just remember, if you're hesitating, you're running in the same spot. We always want to be moving forward, whether we're running forward, whether we're walking forward, even if we have to crawl like a baby. As long as we're moving forward, things will always get better. Anyways, have a nice day, have a nice night, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.